Nicadeamas tutorial 4. What we're going to do in this one is make windows for general mapping. Control A to auto-size the 4 views. Control E to center all 4 views on that, whatever you have selected. Now we're going to make some windows in this wall, and what we want to know is how high. Look at our player. You don't have to select him. You could just push this button up here and then see where his hands are. I like to cut it, Shift X for the cut tool. I like to cut it on this line right there. Line right below the center point of the player, which is right at hand level. Hit enter, and then going to cut off the top part. I like to make it 16 units above the player's head. On occasion 24, which would be this line up there, and hit enter. Then we're going to select our middle piece, cut out 16 units in the very middle, select our side pieces, make the grid a bit bigger, and measure out 1/2, 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, 4.5, cut it there, 4.5, 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, 4.5. Okay, now we got 2 ugly little windows. I think we should use the vertex tool, Shift V, to move that over 2 squares more on each side. And right now each square is equivalent to 16 units. Make the grid smaller, and then you can see your single units. Now we're going to take this brush, copy paste it into the window area. Oh, I was wondering what I was looking there, because I thought this was the middle, but it's that's the middle. Alright, so line it up. Vertically, horizontally, horizontal cut, delete the middle piece, select your 4 pieces you just cut off. Vertex tool, Shift V, line them up on a 45. One of the things about the vertex tool that you don't want to do if you're making extra faces is make something like this, because right here this face can see this face, but if it's at a 180 degree or less, then it'll work. Actually, if it's at a 180 it won't work. If it's anywhere less than a 180 degree, then it will work. But if it's this, then this face can see that face, so it won't work. Select your 4 pieces for the window frame, hit Control G, that will turn it into a group so that you only have to select, you can select all 4 with 1 mouse click. If you hit Control W, then that will turn Ignore Groups on, and you can select the individual pieces once again. Now we're going to hit Shift A and select the No Draw texture off of there. Then we're going to hit this button so that it applies. Whatever's in here will apply when you hit this button, and whatever you select in here will apply onto there, as I've explained before. Now that we've made our piece here all no draw, we're going to also make it a little bit thinner than the wall. 8 units thick while the wall is 16 units thick, so that there's a 4 unit thick difference there. And then we're going to texture it with some kind of wood. Dark or light doesn't matter. Hit the browse button, and my computer's running slowly. Okay, so that took forever to load. I don't know what's hogging my computer's memory, but I loaded the textures and I put a nice dark wood on the window frame and then a lighter wood on the outside of the frame. Actually, it'd look better if it was inverted, but you can do it however you want. We're going to take that piece we took over and moved it away. We're going to bring it back and we're going to make it 4 units wide or thick. And then we're going to size it down to the inside of the window. Hit Shift A, get No Draw, hit that button. Now No Draw's on everything. Hit Shift A again, browse for glass. I'm probably going to pause it again. Resume, right click. Once you select your texture, right click on both faces, hold Control to select both faces, and press the Fit key, Fit button. You don't press that very often because it makes all these little numbers. I don't like these little numbers, so I normally round it off. Hit Apply and hit the Center button. And then you have your nice window. Up next we're going to do, you select your window, hit Control T, opens up the properties. You can also open the properties by double clicking or pressing Alt Enter. And then we're going to make it Func breakable. Hit Apply, and then you can name it if you want or whatnot. Doesn't really matter unless you're doing some input-output stuff. We're going to make it glass. Make sure it's glass. Give it a strength of 20 so it takes like 2 shots depending on your weapon. Hit Apply. Flags to look at. Now we have a window and a window frame. Copy paste the window in the window frame. Now we have 2. And congratulations. You have a house with a door and a tilted roof and 2 windows. Keep it up. Save, and next tutorial coming up.